A woman is driving home after work, singing along to music in her car. She has no idea what is waiting for her. Two men wearing paper masks jump out from the bushes. They try to grab her. She fights back hard, punching and kicking them. But then one of them sticks a needle in her leg. She falls unconscious. When she wakes up, her head is shaved completely bald. She is chained in a basement. The men tell her something shocking. They believe she is an alien from another galaxy called Andromeda. They say she was sent here on a secret mission to destroy all of humanity. They give her 3 days to take them to her alien mothership. But is she really an alien? Or are these men just crazy conspiracy theorists? What happens next will shock you. Before we get to that shocking moment, let me tell you how this whole story begins. The movie opens with beautiful images of honeybees landing on flowers. We hear a man's voice explaining how pollination works. "A third of our food is pollinated this way." He says it's like a clean process where nobody gets hurt. This man is Teddy Gatz, and he is talking to his cousin Don. They are standing in their garden where they keep beehives. Teddy explains that bees help pollinate 1/3 of all our food. But something bad is happening. The bees are dying because of something called colony collapse disorder. This means worker bees leave their hive, and only the queen and nurse bees stay behind. Then the whole colony dies. It's like we talked about, Cold, remember? CCD, it's like a endemic. Teddy tells Don that he has been studying this problem for a long time. He says he finally discovered the real reason why bees are dying. He believes that they have been here all along, poisoning us, choking us, controlling us. Teddy says humans are not in control of the world. They are controlling everything, and Teddy and Don must stop them. But who are they? Teddy believes the person behind everything is Michelle Fuller, a rich woman who runs a big pharmaceutical company. We see Michelle's life is very different from Teddy's. She is the CEO of a company called Oxalif. She lives in a big house and drives an expensive car. She even records corporate training videos about hiring diverse people. It is diversity training, but it's too many, Chris. Can we try to diversify the language a little bit? Michelle seems like a normal, successful businesswoman. But Teddy is convinced she is something else, something not human. Back at Teddy's house, we see something very disturbing. Teddy convinces his cousin Don to do a chemical castration on himself. Teddy says this will keep their minds clear from psychic powers that they might use to control them. You gotta believe me, I figured it out. Don trusts his cousin completely, so he agrees to do this. Teddy says they will be free after this, but we can see that Teddy is actually the one controlling Don's mind with these strange ideas. Tell me the time and country you are watching from in the comments. Now we reach that moment from the beginning. Michelle is driving home from work. She is singing a song called Good Luck Babe and seems very happy. She has no idea what is about to happen. When she reaches her home, two figures wearing paper masks of Jennifer Aniston's face jump out from the bushes. These are Teddy and Don. Michelle is strong and fights back very well. For a moment, it looks like she might actually beat both of them. But then Teddy manages to inject her with a tranquilizer needle, and she passes out. The next scene is very shocking. We see Don shaving Michelle's head completely while she is unconscious in the back of their car. Teddy says they need to do this because they can track her through her hair like a GPS. This was actually Emma Stone, the actress playing Michelle, getting her real head shaved for this movie. But the easy for me to shave my hair? Cause the easiest thing to just take the right it's like don't make it any hair. The director even let Emma Stone shave his head right before they filmed this scene to show solidarity. They bring Michelle to their basement and cover her entire body with antihistamine cream. They did a hell of a job on you, but the tells her there. When Michelle wakes up, she is chained to a chair. Teddy explains that the cream will weaken her nervous system to make things fair. Then Teddy tells her the most bizarre thing. He accuses her of being a high-ranking official in the Royal Andromedan Court. He says she is an alien from the Andromeda Galaxy, which is the closest galaxy to our Milky Way. According to Teddy, Michelle has helped her alien species enslave planet Earth through technology. Why have you shaved off my hair? To prevent you from contacting your shit. Teddy tells Michelle that she must take him and Don to her mothership on the night of the lunar eclipse. He believes the eclipse is the only time the mothership can come to Earth without being detected. Teddy wants to meet with the alien emperor to convince them not to destroy humanity. He gives Michelle a tape recorder to record her confession. Michelle simply says, "Primarily, I'm not an alien." But Teddy claims he has done thermal imaging on her face and found Andromedan code all over her Instagram account. He also accuses her of being responsible for the death of bees, his family, his community, and his co-workers. There is a sweet moment where Don turns to Teddy and says, "I wish I could fix everything that's been done to you." Teddy replies, "It's not about me, Don. It's about everyone." Throughout the movie, Teddy keeps saying things like this. It's not about him. It's about saving the bees, or saving Don, or saving humanity. He keeps changing his reasons, which shows he is very confused about why he is really doing all this. It's not a person named Michelle Fuller. It's the Fuller humanoid, that's all it is. Then we get a flashback that explains a lot. We see Teddy's mother Sandy in a bathtub with giant needles sticking out of her body. Young Teddy is slowly removing them. His mother is saying she knows there is poison hidden in the medicine they are giving her. She believes it is reprogramming her cells and blood. This shows us why Teddy has these beliefs. His mother had these same conspiracy theories, and she passed them on to him. You sell me the sickness, then they sell me the cure, and it's money. The movie shows us a title screen with a picture of Earth that has a crack in it. It says 3 days before the lunar eclipse. This is when things start getting more intense. The next morning, Teddy rides his bike to work, but he is stopped by a policeman named Sheriff Casey. It turns out Casey used to be Teddy's babysitter when Teddy was young. Casey asks if Teddy is okay and says he thinks about him sometimes. He says if Teddy ever needs help, he can ask. Teddy just wants to leave quickly. When Teddy gets to work, we discover something interesting. He actually works for Michelle's company, or at least a company connected to hers. He works in a warehouse packing boxes. His coworker talks about getting injured by machines at work but still having to meet her work quota. This reminds us of how big companies like Amazon treat their workers badly. Their machinery cut you, and you get punished for missing quotas? Drop a like if you're enjoying this recap so far. Back in the basement, Teddy listens to the message Michelle recorded. But he is not happy because she did not even record it in her alien language. Michelle tries to explain to Teddy that she thinks he is in an echo chamber. She says he has been consuming too much content on the internet, which has warped his idea of reality. I think you're in a kind of echo chamber. She tells him, I am not an alien. She even calls him mentally ill. This makes Teddy so angry that he slaps her across the face. Then he says something scary. Everybody denies it at first, and then looking fast. Later, Teddy tells Don they are standing on the shoulders of giants. He mentions YouTubers and video essays he watched online that led him to his discoveries. He shows Don his own drawing of what he thinks the alien mothership looks like. Teddy reminds Don of their plan. They will go to the mothership with Michelle for just a few hours. They will tell the aliens that Earth and humans have much to offer. They will ask the aliens to leave humanity alone. But if the aliens don't listen, Teddy has another plan. He doesn't reveal what this backup plan is yet. Don says he has been feeling weird, crazy, and sad since the chemical castration procedure. When you research this treatment, sadness is actually a real side effect. It's very tragic because Teddy did this to his own cousin, the same thing he accuses the corporations and aliens of doing. But will our lives be like in space? The movie shows another title screen. 2 days before the lunar eclipse, things are getting closer to the big day. Michelle changes her strategy. She pretends to confess that she is an alien. She tells Teddy he is right about everything. But Teddy says it's too late for simple confessions. He says they need to do a test to prove it. This leads to one of the darkest scenes in the movie. Teddy straps Michelle to a device and starts electroshocking her at higher and higher levels. We don't see much, but we can hear Emma Stone screaming in pain. Even Don becomes very uncomfortable watching this. He doesn't like what Teddy is doing. Eventually, Don pulls the plug and stops the machine. After the test, something strange happens. Teddy looks at the readings and says, the readings are off the charts. It's never reached that output before. The output has never reached that threshold before. Before? This makes us wonder, has Teddy done this to other people before? After seeing these high readings, Teddy completely changes how he treats Michelle. He starts untying her, cleans her up, and apologizes. He says the voltage proves she has the royal genetic code. He starts calling her Your Majesty because he now believes she is part of the royal alien family. Your Majesty? What? I stupidly thought you were Adnan. We get another flashback. This time we see Michelle apologizing to young Teddy about what happened to his mother. She says her company will pay for all the victims' care going forward. It becomes clear that Michelle's company put out a bad product that had complications for many people, including Teddy's mother, Sandy. We will not tolerate the idea of you or your family bearing a financial burden at this. We are covering all of it. The next title screen says 1 day before the lunar eclipse. We are very close now. Interestingly, this title screen shows the world is flat, which tells us about Teddy's other conspiracy theory beliefs. Michelle is now treated better, which you are a customer. Though it's great, thank you. Teddy invites her upstairs for a spaghetti dinner. She is still chained to the chair, but at least she is at the dinner table now. At dinner, Michelle asks Teddy to tell her more about his movement. Teddy says, it's not a movement. Respectfully, we are not a movement. He says that for the last 5 years, he tried every political movement, both left-wing and right-wing groups, but none of them worked out for him. It's very impressive. Thank you. Michelle notices Teddy keeps bees and says they are magnificent creatures. Teddy asks what she admires about bees. About bees? Think either they built their worlds without complaint or piety or self-obsession. Betty takes this the wrong way. He thinks she likes bees because they are easy to manipulate and control. Michelle says she just likes how they keep going even when things are difficult. This makes Teddy very angry. He accuses her of being responsible for colony collapse disorder, the thing that is making bees die. But Michelle fires back with an important point. She says his research is out of date. Bees are actually coming back now. She says, "You want the bees to be dying, so that it can be my fault." But you don't have to think about the real reasons that species die: immune deficiencies, changing habitats, genetic factors, or sometimes a species just winds down. Maybe they sense the futility of the entire thing. Then Michelle brings up the name Sandy Gatz, Teddy's mother. Through their conversation, we learn that Sandy was taking medicine for opioid withdrawal. This medicine had bad complications for several people. This is an interesting twist because it reveals that Teddy's mother was actually an addict. This tells us a lot about Teddy's childhood and his home life. It was probably not good or happy. As Michelle keeps pushing and offering to help his mother, Teddy gets more and more angry. Finally, he scrambles across the dinner table and starts choking her. But Michelle stabs him with a fork and gets the upper hand. Then Don hits her with the butt of a shotgun and she falls unconscious. Let me know in the comments which character you think is telling the truth. At the same time, Sheriff Casey arrives at the front door. He is investigating Michelle's disappearance. Don takes Michelle back to the basement and keeps her at gunpoint with a rifle. Teddy stays upstairs with Casey. They sit down together, and then Casey confesses something terrible. He says, "It wasn't fine, it was wrong, but I promise you, dude, I never ever did that to anybody else." We understand from this conversation that 20 years ago, when Casey was Teddy's babysitter, he abused his power and hurt Teddy. This adds another tragic layer to Teddy's backstory and helps explain why he is the way he is. But Teddy just keeps saying, "It's fine. Just forget it. It's gone." Though he clearly doesn't look fine. Teddy asks Casey if he wants to see his bees, and they go outside together. Meanwhile, in the basement, Michelle is trying to convince Don to let her go. She plays along with the alien story. Don eventually asks, "If you are an alien, will you help me?" Michelle says yes, she will take him if he lets her go. At first, Don says he won't leave without Teddy, which is very sweet. But Michelle says they don't have time. So Don takes a big breath and agrees. He says, "Okay, I'm ready to leave. Tell Teddy I'm sorry and that I loved him." Then in an instant, Don uses the shotgun on himself. He thought this was his way to reach the mothership. The police officer hears this gunshot from outside. So Teddy quickly throws bees on Casey's face and then uses a shovel to stop him. It's an interesting emotional moment because sweet Don just passed away, but also the disgusting babysitter who hurt Teddy got what he deserved. When Teddy comes back and finds Don in that condition, he is heartbroken. He says to Michelle, "You poisoned his heart with lies and bullshit until his whole fucking world collapsed, didn't you?" But the irony is that Teddy was actually the one filling Don's head with nonsense. He is angry and ready to harm Michelle. But then Michelle says something that stops him. Tell me, Teddy. I have a cure for your mother." Michelle confesses and says the company was rearranging his mother's genetic code. She claims his mother was part of an Andromedan experiment that takes 4 to 5 years. But they can wake her up now. She tells Teddy that in the trunk of her car, hidden in a bottle of antifreeze, is the cure. She says he needs to give it to his mother's 4 at the hospital. Somehow, Teddy believes this. He is desperate to save his mother, so he hurts Michelle's kneecap so she can't escape, then leaves for the hospital. Teddy rides to the hospital and puts the antifreeze into his mother's 4, thinking it will save her. But of course, it doesn't save her. The antifreeze actually ends her life. Teddy realizes what he has done and runs away from the hospital before anyone catches him. While Teddy is away, Michelle gets loose using keys from Don's pocket. But she doesn't escape. Instead, she goes exploring and finds something truly horrific. At the back of the basement, she discovers a secret room filled with sample jars containing parts of people. These jars are marked as specimens. There are photos and research showing Teddy's experiments. He has had many people down in this basement before and has been doing terrible things to them. Remember when Teddy said he had never seen readings like this before during the electroshock? This proves it wasn't his first time doing this. Teddy has hurt other people before. When Teddy gets back, you would think Michelle had escaped, but she is there waiting for him. Immediately, Michelle asks, "How many were Andromedans?" Teddy says, 2. Michelle says, "You miserable fucking idiot, do you know what you've done?" Then Michelle tells an incredible story. She claims that their 75th emperor discovered Earth back when dinosaurs ruled the planet. The Andromedans accidentally spread a virus that harmed the dinosaurs. The emperor felt so guilty about this that he started new life on Earth. According to Michelle, humans were created in the image of the Andromedans. Ancient civilizations like Atlantis were meant to live in harmony with nature, but some humans wanted to be stronger than the Andromedans. So they grew new humans in labs and added new genes to make them stronger. But these new genes also made humans more aggressive. This led to nuclear war. Only a few humans survived on an ark that sailed the oceans for over a century. Some of us would have preferred to simply eliminate your species, but the Emperor believed there was still hope. By the time it was safe to return to land, the leaders of the Ark had passed away. This left only a few mutant semi-human apes who evolved into modern-day humans. Michelle says that since then, humans have hurt the Earth with war and ecological damage, and humans show no signs of stopping. The Andromedan goal is to save humanity by removing that hidden aggressive gene through experiments. The tests on Sandy and others were meant to rewrite the human genome, just like Sandy said in the bathtub vision. Ketty says, "You ended my mother though." Michelle replies, "No, you did." She reveals that her plan was for Teddy to get caught before he could give his mother the antifreeze. She says, "You actually got away with it, you sick ape." She explains that Teddy must now come with her to tell the Emperor their findings on the night of the lunar eclipse. We get the final title screen showing the Earth is now completely flat and fully cracked. They go to Michelle's workplace and to her office. Michelle says this is the place where she can transport up to the mothership. Her staff are clearly concerned when they see her and probably call the police. Hi. It's a thief. Michelle takes a calculator out of a special box. She says she needs to put in a 58-digit code to create a link to the mothership. At this point, we don't know if this is real or if Michelle is just playing for time until the police arrive. Michelle asks if Teddy is ready to go. He says yes, but then reveals he has a bomb strapped to himself. He planned for all possibilities. Michelle tells him to go into her closet. She says it's secretly a teleporter. They have to go separately so they don't mix together. And we'll have to go one after the other so that our bodies don't reconstitute together. Betty closes the closet door. Michelle backs up and counts down. 3, 2, 1. Teddy explodes. His head flies out of the closet and knocks Michelle unconscious. Michelle wakes up in an ambulance. She escapes out of the back and limps her way down the street back to her office. Sorry, I forgot something, just really quickly. It's now nighttime. We look up and see the lunar eclipse is almost here. Michelle goes into the bloodstained closet with the calculator in hand. And then, whoosh, she actually emerges out of liquid inside a real alien spaceship. She is welcomed by aliens who all have long hair. The ship looks exactly like Teddy imagined it in his drawings. It is revealed that Michelle is actually the emperor of the aliens. She confirms that cutting off her hair meant she couldn't contact anyone for help. The aliens talk in their own language with subtitles on screen. They refer to themselves as we instead of I, showing how much of a collective they are. They created humans to live in harmony with nature, but humans haven't done that. The aliens live a life of we, but humans live a life of I and me. The other aliens tell Michelle that only 2 of the test subjects remain alive, and all of the experiments have failed. It is time to make a decision. Michelle, the emperor, says, "We believe it is over. They have had their time. In that time, they have put in danger the life that they share. We have decided their time will end." The other aliens leave the room. Michelle walks up to a flat Earth model that sits in the middle of the room. This is the same representation we have been seeing on the title screens throughout the movie. She slowly uses a wand-like object to pierce and pop a bubble that covers the Earth. She looks sadly down at the planet. We then see clips from all around the world. All humans have passed away in an instant. We see all types of people, in different jobs, in different activities, in rich places and poor places. It doesn't matter if you were in slums, on a beach, on a boat, or at work. Everyone is gone. In one scene, we see museum visitors lying under dinosaur fossils, which is symbolic of the Andromedans accidentally harming the dinosaurs earlier in history. But here is what's important. We see a dog, a cat, and a bird flying, and they are all still alive. This lets us know that only humans have been removed. All other life on Earth continues. The final scene takes us back to Teddy's garden. Just like the beginning of the movie, we watch as bees land on flowers and pollinate them. It all starts with something magnificent. The bees are thriving again, and the movie ends. So friends, this was the story of the movie Bugonia. The big twist is that Michelle really was an alien all along. Teddy was right about almost everything, except he didn't realize he was talking to the Emperor herself. The tragedy is that Teddy had what he wanted all along, a conversation with the leader of the aliens. But he treated Michelle so badly that he actually convinced her that humans were not worth saving. He may have caused the end of humanity to happen faster than it would have. The movie shows us how dangerous conspiracy theories and online echo chambers can be. It shows how vulnerable people like Don can be manipulated by people like Teddy. But it also asks us to think about humanity. Are we really worth saving? Have we hurt the Earth too much? The ending shows all humans gone but animals and bees surviving. which some people see as hopeful. Earth gets a second chance without humans. What do you think? Is this ending sad or hopeful? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching.